All right, today we're jumping into something really cool, a new report that's basically decoding the future of perfume packaging. We're going to look at the big trends shaping things all the way to 2026 and really what it all says about how our whole idea of luxury is changing. So, have you ever really thought about that? Because let me tell you, that feeling is no accident. It is a 100% crafted experience. I mean, it's designed to give you a mood, tell you a story, and make a promise, all before you even get a whiff of the scent itself. And believe me, that craft is changing, and it's changing fast. Okay, so here's the game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about Perfume's new brief. Then, we'll dive into Feel It, the human touch, followed by Think It, the smart footprint, and we'll wrap up with See It, the digital shelf. All right, let's get right into our first section, Perfume's new brief. And the headline here is simple. Luxury is changing. I mean, the whole definition is being completely rewritten. It is just not enough anymore for something to look expensive. And you can see that shift so clearly right here. The old way, that was all about aspiration, this idea of untouchable perfection and status. But the new luxury, well, it wants receipts. It demands evidence, proof of craftsmanship, proof of sustainability, and a real authentic connection to what a brand actually stands for. Which brings us perfectly to our next big idea, Feel It, the human touch. And this is all about a rebellion against that slick, digital sameness we see everywhere. Brands are actively trying to look less like they were made by a computer and more, well, more like they were made by a person. And this phrase just nails it. The forecasters at Canva called it imperfect by design. Think about that. It's not about mistakes. It's about intentional, engineered imperfection. It's that little something that tells you a human hand was here, and that is the new calling card for luxury. Now, this doesn't mean just being messy. No way. It's about engineering these, what the report calls, undeniable craft moments. We're talking about things like micro-embossed textures that you can just feel, debossed logos with this soft varnish, or using ceramic inks that have these beautiful, slightly organic edges. It's all these tiny details that make you want to look closer, that just feel real. So why all this fuss about texture? Well, it's because it's making a sensory promise, right? You can't smell through your phone screen. So the texture of the bottle or the box, that becomes the clue. A frosted glass finish might make you think of something cool, maybe airy. An uncoated, greeny paper could signal something more natural, more earthy. And I gotta say, I love this next line. Texture is the anti-scroll. It's brilliant, right? It just perfectly explains what's going on in our brains. When you're scrolling through your feed, your brain just glazes over anything flat and simple. But these little textures and details, they create what you could call visual friction. They make you stop, even for just a split second, to process it. And that pause, well, that's everything. That's attention. And check this out. To connect on a local level, brands are using this really smart core and layer system. The core, the bottle shape, the logo, that stays the same everywhere in the world. But then they add this flexible layer, things like special sleeves or patterns or little inserts that can be customized to really click with local cultures. Super important for things like gifting. Okay, on to our next section. Think It, the smart footprint. And this is all about how sustainability stopped being just a buzzword and became a real, genuine badge of honor, all thanks to some seriously smart engineering. So this number, around 180 grams, what's that about? That is the weight of the Johnny Walker Blue Label Ultra bottle. And what's so wild is that they didn't promote this as, hey, we saved money. No, they framed its lightness as this incredible feat of luxury engineering. It became a key part of the story. And that just totally flips the old script on its head, doesn't it? It used to be that heavy glass meant value. It felt expensive. But now it's the precision engineering that uses less material that has become the real mark of innovation. It's a status symbol that signals intelligence, restraint, a totally modern idea of luxury. This same thinking is being applied to refills, too. Brands like Dior and Mugler, they're not treating refills like some cheap, messy chore. They're designing the whole process to be a premium ritual. It's this clean, satisfying experience that makes you feel good, and it builds loyalty. It makes you feel like you're part of the club. Some of the smartest sustainability wins are the ones you don't even see. It's all about simplifying the packaging around the bottle, the box, the inserts.
We're talking about getting rid of those mixed materials that are a nightmare to recycle, swapping out plastic trays for molded pulp, just making the whole thing way easier for you to recycle correctly.
And for our final section, See It, the digital shelf. This one tackles a massive, massive challenge for designers today. How in the world do you get a package to scream quality, mood, story, when most people are only ever going to see it as a tiny 2-centimeter thumbnail on their phone?
Well, color is your first and fastest weapon. And looking toward 2026, we're seeing two big ones emerge. First, there's transformative teal, which just signals clean, fresh innovation. Think mineral or aquatic scents. Then you've got cloud dancer, this really serene white, which whispers quiet calm and comfort, perfect for those soft, musky skin scents. It's like the color gives your nose a heads up before you even read the description.
So to stand out online, brands have to do more than just a boring product shot. The first trick is what we're calling material pairing. This is where you see the bottle interacting with materials that hint at the scent's personality. So you might see it next to a piece of stone for a mineral scent, or draped with linen for a clean one. It's a visual shortcut that helps you kind of feel what it smells like.
The second type of storytelling is the ritual. This is all about showing the product in action. That satisfying click of a magnetic cap, the perfect mist from the atomizer. It shows you that it works well, it builds trust. And for something like a new refill system, this is absolutely crucial to show people, hey, this isn't scary, it's easy.
And the third scene type is world building. This is where the bottle stops being just an object and becomes a character in a bigger story. You see it on a cool studio desk or in a chic hotel room. It's not just about the product anymore. It's about the life that product lives in. It's about identity. Okay, so tying all of this together is this idea of inclusive design. And really, it just means getting rid of any little annoyances, those friction points. Because in luxury, the brand is making you a promise of quality and care. And anything from a slippery cap to tiny text you can't read, it breaks that promise. It just makes the whole thing feel cheap. And this is why good, accessible design is a huge competitive advantage. We're talking about things like clear fonts, so you feel confident giving it as a gift, or tactile cues to tell scents apart. These details, they're not just nice-to-haves. They prevent what's called the silent churn. That's when a customer loves a scent but quietly stops buying it because the bottle is just a pain to use. It's about loyalty. So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? The future isn't about designing a pretty bottle anymore. It's about designing an entire system where everything, the feel of it, its sustainability, how it shows up online, and how you use it, all works together to tell one single powerful story. Which kind of leaves us with one last question for you to think about. The next time you're looking for a fragrance, what are you really going to be looking for? Is it just the scent? Or is it the story, the whole world that's been built around it, told through glass and paper and pixels?